Good morning, guys. Another fine day at the off-grid. Oh, it's getting colder. It's certainly getting colder outside. The frost is in the air. Oh, I think today the plan is to build a deck. At least get us to the point where we can walk on something. Let's devise a plan. All right, so the plan. All right, so the plan is to basically fill in this area here and then onto my other big deck over there. Join it in that way. I've kind of thought about it a little bit. I've been sitting on it for a little while. But I think I want to add a little bit of a curve to just kind of marry it in, get around those trees and kind of gently meander over there. And then I have a plan of perhaps putting the hot tub up on the deck because heading down to the pond is a little treacherous in the winter time, so maybe like just right on the deck, right in the corner over there, but I haven't quite sourced that out yet to determine if I'm going to do that. So there's a lot of planning going involved, but first I need the material. So I'm going to head up, mill up some deck boards because that's what I don't have a lot of. So this is what we've got on the agenda today. We're gonna make some deck boards. I've got quite a few logs to choose from. These are logs that I got from a landscape company that was taking down a pine plantation, just like mine. So they had a bunch of logs. These aren't the most ideal logs, so they're not like big. Ideally, you want like a 16-inch log, like diameter wise, to get anything that's really useful out of. But these ones, what my plan is to do is kind of square off one side and then make deck boards. And my deck boards are going to be like probably 5.5 inches, 6 inches wide. So that should give me enough to get rid of all of the bark on each side. So I'll have a clean piece of wood. But yeah, as you can see, there's like fair size ones. There's some other ones. These are like that one there is pretty good. Like there's quite a few decent ones. It's just that they're not really big, so you're not gonna get a lot of material out of each one, but there's enough there. Like if you, it doesn't really show that there's that many, but like if you get on top of them, you can see like even that one there, like that one's nice and dry. I'm standing on a pile that's like 6.5 feet tall. Like it's crazy. So that's the first log of many, but first I got to fill up my mill full of water because whenever I'm cutting anything that's got a lot of pitch to it, I like to add some water to it. You can dry cut. The water is used essentially for lubrication as opposed to cooling. So I have my little special water here. Pine needles are bonus. Yeah, I like to fill it up with water when I'm cutting pine. Actually, there might be water in there. Oh, there is water in there. See, the reservoir actually has got water in there. All right, well, I don't have to put any water in there. Let's see if it'll start. It's been a while. Choke. Let's go. Well, we milled that log up and we got 6 boards. That's going to yield us about 6 inches each board because I've just got to take this stuff off. But what I did was I wanted to do it quick and that didn't take very long at all. And yeah, so I'm just going to square them up afterwards once I get enough of them. But hey, what do you think, Frank? Those nice boards? How are you so agile for being such a big dog? Yeah, you can see them. That's pretty. Hey, Frank, can you do the rest of it? Yes. Yes, can you do it? No? Okay. All right, so now that we've got a couple logs milled up, you guys are all full of sawdust. All right, so now that we have a couple of logs milled up, we're going to put them back on the mill and we're going to cut them all to the same length. So these are all 1-inch thick boards, and I'm going to cut them 1 inch by 6 inches thick because I'll be able to get uniform boards cut that way. So that's actually quite effective way to do wood. So this is another 8 boards or something, so that gets you a lot of board feet all at the same time. Your very, very uniform product once everything's done. Okay, so these are the guys that I've milled out for the front. I'm gonna do a little bit of a curve on these things. So what I have to do is I have to actually put them in the pond. So what I'm gonna do is tie them up so they don't float away on me. Can you see that? Tie them up. I'm gonna tie them up. A little wobbly there. All right, so I'm gonna tie them up so they're not gonna float away, and we're gonna throw them in the pond. And the reason we do that is so they stay wet and supple. And supple. Supple? That's a thing, right? Supple. They're not the lightest. They're about, I think, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. They're pretty bendy as it is, but I want them to be like super bendy. So we're gonna put them in the pond. We're just gonna float them out there. These are like super slippery rocks. All right, into the pond they go. And they can just marinate there for next couple of days maybe. Get them wet. There. So those will just sit there floating, doing their thing. Tie them up so they don't just kind of float away, like I said, for the next couple of days, and get nice and bendy. I actually changed my mind with attaching them together. Instead, I actually put a couple of rocks on them just to hold them so they all get super wet and sit there. And I guess while I'm here, I might as well feed the fish. Got the old fish food. See if we can actually get them to come up to the surface. Let's see if we can get them right to here. That'd be kind of cool. Come on, big fish. Oh, look at them. See if we can get them right up here. Come on, jump out of the water. If I can. Okay, you guys are gonna go underwater. Have a look. Ow, hit me in the hand. Super cold water. That is so cold. Trout are probably just loving that water. I don't know what temperature is. It feels like it's just like, I don't know, it feels like ice water. It smells like dog food, doesn't it? Don't lick it. Too close. You're gonna jump in there, aren't you? Frankie, we're gonna go over. Hey, whoa. Oh, we were gonna go in there. As you know, Frankie decides to get into precarious situations. There was one time when the ice was just kind of off. Well, it wasn't off yet. There was a hole in there, and Frankie decided to venture out on the ice, and she went for a swim in early spring. Went into the ice, and you could see her when she went through the ice. She was sitting there on the edge of the ice, and she's like, "Uh-oh, I messed up. Come help me. So I ended up kind of dragging her out of the pond. But hey, you know, that's what dogs do. Hey Frankie, you haven't done that since, have you? Yeah. That's like crazy cold. My hand is still kind of numb from that. Hey Frank. All right, let's get back to milling because I got a whole lot of lumber to mill. Oh, winter's coming. It's a whole lot of deck boards. I just gotta straighten them up now. And I should be able to start building my deck. I might have milled too much, but you know what? These are useful as 1-inch boards. There's a whole lot of them. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. There's 11 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 66 boards there. They're probably like 12 feet long each. Jeez, that's a lot of wood. Maybe you gotta build a bigger deck. All right, now that we have all our deck boards made, we kind of have an idea of how large this thing's actually gonna be. That's a lot of deck boards. What I want to do is I want to actually put, I gotta do a chalk line. I gotta straighten out the front of this thing to determine exactly where, what the footprint is before I can determine what the curve's gonna be. So I put those logs, or those little boards, into the pond to soften them up or keep them supple, because they're kind of like, they're not really super dry. So they should bend pretty easy. So what I want to do is actually want to have a start place here to start the bend, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll fill in the gaps afterwards to determine what my yeah. It's kind of like an arts and crafts project, I think. I don't it's a really big bend, so it might not be that bendy. Anyways, let's get started. All right, those boards have been soaking for some time. They should bend. I don't know if they're gonna bend easily, but that is the plan. I gotta stitch these together. You can kind of kind of see the wibbly wobbly. They're only 1/2 inch thick, so you should. The plan is to kind of go that way and meander a little bit. Get a little bit of water off them. A little chunk of plywood. You want a nailing edge or screwing edge because you'll blow through this stuff with your screw. You want to have like a piece of plywood so when you screw it in, it holds it. You guys are on my saw too. Can you hand me that saw? Ah. All right, there we go. How big do I want this thing? Safety squints are engaged. And the idea behind these guys is actually to use the worst one first, because sometimes they break. I had to sneak out to the lumber store and get some more 2x9s. Actually, I just nailed them up. There should be enough to do that now. So what I've got is another beam attached here, and then I'm going to let the basically infill there with studs, because well, the deck certainly is growing. It's getting big. See this guy? See, that's going to go like that, and kind of nice gentle curve, as you can see. It's actually not bad. It's not a bad looking curve that way. And so I'm going to put the fascia board in there. It gives me a measurement on how far I need to cut them. That's why I need the fascia board, because it's difficult to cut these off after. I guess you could use, like, if you just ran them wild and then ran a garden hose, you could do it that way, just to give you a little curve. But this is the way I'm going to do it. These guys are the savior here. These are the GRK screws that I found. You can see there's giant structural screws with the Torx head on them. That's what I'm going to use to attach all of my my beam to my post. Kind of like all turned around because it didn't exactly go as I sort of planned it. But you know what? We're going to make it work. All right, so we got the curve down. We got our joists in. It wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it sure does look cool. I like it. So it kind of gives us an idea. It's a nice little transition. It kind of softens our lines a little bit, just enough to say you did it, right? So the idea behind this thing is that I was originally going to kind of curve it in and then back straight out, but I think it lends itself a little bit better. If you look out here, you can kind of see just how much area you got over here. It's almost like doubling the size of the deck you had, and it doesn't, like it right here where the post is, you don't have you're not kind of like, I would say you're not crammed over there. You can get to the right side or left side of it, and you can also like get around there. So once the railing's in, you'll have you still have a lot of place to actually get around that. And there's probably a staircase right there. And then I'm toying with the idea of garage door panels here. Or the garage door panels, the glass of the garage door panels along the front, so you don't obstruct your view of the pond. And as well over here where you got your gonna have your hot tub, I believe, right about here. I haven't quite firmed that up yet, but that's my idea. But we'll see. It's definitely a lot of progress. I just got to put some joist hangers on, and Bob's your uncle. Hopefully we got enough deck boards. I ended up having 66 boards around 12 feet long, which is a significant amount. Hopefully that that should work. If you take each panel and just kind of lay it on the deck, yeah, probably pretty close. Pretty close. If not, have to mill some more wood. Not a big deal. A lot of people out there might think, why didn't you waste your time making it curved? And like, why don't you just make it square and it's just easier and, you know, you get it done quicker? You know what? I think this is where the design element on just building stuff is. Everybody is dead set on sort of making stuff, you know, functional. Like back in the day, if you ever looked at an old hinge on a door and it's got like, you know, it's got detail, it's cast, you know, brass, and it's got some sort of detail in it, and they took the time to make it nice, right? Visually appealing. It's the same idea with this deck. I could have made it square, I could have made it rectangle, I could have made it triangle, but to add a little bit of curve to it just kind of gives it a little bit extra. It sets itself apart from every other deck that's out there that's just square. Like, it didn't take a lot of extra time, but it did take some more time. But I think in the end of the day, like, it's pretty darn cool. Like, you just look at it. Like, it doesn't show really curvy on camera, but it's got a fair curve to it. But anyways, just get our deck boards on now. Well, hello up there. Can you even see me? Oh, this deck's really tall. Not that much deck wood, is there? I just bang this off by lunch. No problem. Well, I'm going to start with the outside board first, and then I'm going to cut my last board. Oh, there's a lot of deck here. Start with a couple of boards. Too bad that one's just short. Ah. Well, we're at the stage where we got deck boards. Now, I really like the idea of screwing the boards from below, because then you don't see any fasteners. I did that once. It was a much shorter deck than this. You had to get underneath and screw them off. So I'm not sure, because the brackets were really expensive. I wonder if there's a way to do it without doing it that way. Maybe I will loosely attach them and then figure out, it'll be future Kevin's problem to do that. Maybe I'll attach them from below sparingly and then figure out something later. Like some sort of angle bracket. Because half the problem was somebody had to hold it from above and then screw from below. So I think I'm going to do it. I don't want to see any fasteners. All right, so just out of curiosity, I went and looked up the hidden deck fasteners, and wow! Can you guys see that? Here, it's $7.98 for 45 inches. So every 45 inches along, every joist you need to run one of these fasteners. That's $7.98, and what that allows you to do. Wow! And what that allows you to do is basically it gives you a guide to put a screw essentially on a 45-degree angle to pull the board down to the joist. Now, granted, it is providing steel on the joist, and it is allowing you to like not splinter your 2x4, which is also 1.5 inches, but like I'm basically taking a 3-inch screw and driving it up somewhat on a 45-degree angle and sucking it into the top of the on the underside of the deck board in order to hold it down. It feels like I'm paying myself just by doing this. $7.09. How is that a linear foot? Like that's like, so every 4 feet, that less than 4 feet is $8. So that's $2 a foot. $2 a linear foot for a hidden deck fasteners. That's wild. That's crazy. I should get into the hidden deck fastener business. There's got to be a cheaper way than that. Well, there is a cheaper way than that. The way I'm doing it, which is the underscrew and the underside, and I'm gonna carry on doing that. I like the way it looks. I like there's no fasteners on the top side of the board. Less holes, less penetrations for water to get into. So that's what I'm going to do. And what I'm doing is I'm actually sporadically screwing them down so it holds the board down. Because what happens is you can go after the fact, go underneath and just screw everything else up from below. It's a lot easier to do that because you're just in one spot. You're just kind of like sit on the ground or whatever and screw on the upside. Yeah, so like I'm just making sure they don't just fly away in the wind. And then, yeah, future Kevin's problems underneath the deck, and we'll screw them that way. But yeah, this is going rather well. I might have milled too much lumber based on the amount I've got down and the amount that's still in the trailer. But we'll see. I'm gonna just carry on. Like I said, I'm running them wild on both sides, so I don't have to cut them. I just chalk line afterwards and just rip them down, and hopefully, you know what, this deck will be done sooner than later. Because, well, winter's coming, rain's coming, everything's coming. It's a little late in the season to be building a deck, but here I am. Well, I tried to skip the boring part, but I'm not done yet. Holy moly, maybe screwing from the below is a bad choice on this one. It hurts, you gotta bend down and screw from below. It's never easy to do that. Slowly but surely, I'm just kinda working on it. Looks like I have like 10 miles left to do. I started on the short side, so you know, it didn't really click at the start. Now I'm like 3 boards long, so I've got to join one in the middle, which involves cutting and making everything square. So it's taking a little bit more time. I have about 5 or 6 feet left of width, and then I got to tie in the existing deck, so that's going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, it's just it's a slog. It's a slow go. It's coffee time. Doesn't help that the weather's kind of cloudy. It's cloudy, you know, it's middle of the day, it could be the end of the day, who knows. It's never ending. Although it does look like I'm gonna have enough wood, which is cool. That's so far so good. It doesn't appear I'm going to run out, because that is the worst when you're doing a job and you run out of material midway through the job. So good that way, but maybe I'll just show it to you when I'm done. Skip the middle part anyways. I had the time lapse running and it ran out of time. That's how long it's taken. It's taken where I'm like 7 hours in or something like that, 8 hours in to just lay on board. It's just taking its toll. It's taking its toll. Yeah, next time I'm gonna be able to see the screw heads. I'm not gonna screw from below. They actually have a tool. It looks like a pogo stick, and you can screw from standing up, which would make this a whole lot easier. The tools they come up with, they're all based out of necessity, because necessity is like the mother of all invention. I completely agree with that. They should make like a tool that you can screw on a diagonal from above to screw from below, if that makes any sense at all. So you can avoid buying $8 for 45 inches, because that's a lot. Yeah, anyways, I'm surprised this is still warm. But it is. Anyways, rambling. I'm going to get back to this because I'm hoping to get a little bit more done. Yeah, get a little bit more energy, relax my knees a little bit. Yeah, winter's coming. Ugh. That chill in the air. Gotta light a fire. It's pencil migration season again. It's when every pencil I own decides to just meander somewhere else. I don't know where the heck they go. But yeah, the subject of pencils. You can never have too many pencils. The problem is I put them in my hat. When I take my hat off, I put my pencil down, and that's where it ends up. So the problem is that it seems to migrate to where you don't do work, because you have it in your hat when you're doing work, and then when you go to a different location, you set it down, it's where you're not doing work, and that's where the pencils end up living, which is a real pain in the butt. But I went to the landscape show a couple of years ago, and I was looking for pencils because I like collecting pencils at any kind of landscape show. And these guys had these blue pencils here, which was the nicest pencil, like ApprenticeSearch.com. I did a video, but I did actually, like, my audio messed up, so you guys never saw that. But I kept going back to that same location and being like, if you guys give me pencils, I'll be forever grateful. Anyways, ApprenticeSearch.com. I'll give a shout out to those guys because they had awesome pencils. That was the also the milk. At this time of year where you got those the fall fairs and whatnot, you got the milk pencils. I like those too. I don't know how I got a pen in there. Pens are no useful to me. But anyways, pencil migration season, it's a thing. It's right up there with sweater collection season. It's when you end up just storing sweaters in your truck for no particular reason, because it's cold when you wake up and it's warm when you go home. Strange, isn't it? Anyways, gotta get the deck done. Deck. Just keep decking around. It's because I gotta bend way over, and I should have screwed it from above. You know what? It'll be all good when it's done. Let's just carry on. Now that I think about it, the pencil's actually telling me something. I should go to ApprenticeSearch.com and actually check and see if there's any apprentices that want to learn how to do, Kevin building. That should be like an actual skill out there. Like you can be a mechanic, you can be a Kevin build. I don't know. Maybe I should check them out, see if they have any apprentice. It's probably a Red Seal trade thing, I'm a track pants tradesman. I don't think that there's probably like a pull down menu for track pants tradesmen. There should be, because you need every kind of tradesman. Even the track pants tradesmen's their thing. All right, so this is what we're dealing with. This tree over here on the right is well, you can see the pine needles are turning brown. This thing's been on its way out pretty much all summer. And now it is time to take it down. Now the plan when I built my sawmill shed was to actually have an overhang here all the way across, but this tree here was in the way, so I just kind of let nature take its course, and possibly because I've been driving on it for a little bit, because I do drive the tractor around here. So yeah, anyways, it's on the way out. It is a little close, so that's the plan, is to take it out. It's not the ideal log for milling because it is kind of crooked, but there's probably something out of that. Any kind of leading edge trees on the sides of kind of these plant plantations, they have really big knots in them from the branches, the lateral branches that are on it. So they're not the greatest because they have really big knots once you mill up a board. So this will not be the greatest wood, but anyways, it should make some nice chips. Drop zone is basically, right beside the sawmill, kind of into this pile. This is the sawmill offcuts. Gotta deal with that too. There's always piles to deal with. So anyways, hopefully it'll just drop smoothly. Maybe make it into that tote firewood. Who knows? Let's get this thing cut. Precision tree cutting. This is my specialty. So the plan is to drop it that way. If you cut a tree down with an electric chainsaw, does it make it greener? I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that never want to cut a tree down, and yeah, the problem with cutting trees down or not cutting trees down is it comes down to forest management, and this is my disclaimer, this is part of forest management, is cutting trees down, because if not, what happens is this thing turns into a giant candle in the event of a wayward cigarette, a weird spark, lightning, anything like that. This thing is just essentially really dry tinder that will essentially ignite the entire forest up like that once it's dry. So you gotta take these things down. Do I recommend clear cutting? No, but selectively harvesting trees within a forest is a good thing. Remember that, it's a good thing. All right, let's cut this tree down. What are the chances of that thing? You know, actually, I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little bit more holding wood on the side that's not axed against the sawmill, because I want more holding wood here, because I want it to kind of hold on to the stump and not go this way. So ideally, you cut this side off and you leave more hinge wood on that side, and then that in turn will prevent you from crushing your sawmill shed. How did it get so humid out here? Look at my filter. This is what you guys are looking through. I kind of want to keep this on. This is protecting everything, but it's foggy. It's foggy. I'll give that a minute maybe. It's not as easy as just cutting down a tree. You got to make sure your camera works. You got to make sure the saw works. You got to make sure you don't drop the tree on the sawmill. There. Can you guys see through that now? It's still got a little fog to it. There. Still not perfectly clear, but you guys will sort that out, right? Alright, I gotta get a new filter. Alright, well I haven't used this thing in a while. It's been sitting in the rain. Let's see, what do I gotta do? Oh yeah. That way, and then on, and then I think this has got to be like that, and then start. Well, it's not quite done yet. I found a chair. Guess what? The boss is here again. I think she brought me something delicious. I found a nice, relaxing. This looks like a relaxing chair, as long as it doesn't just break. It's got some issues. Here, that looks safe. Let me try to sit on it. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall off here. Well, just stand there. Let me get you a chair. You can try that one. Try that one.
You got a little table? Should be fine.
I found it in a garbage can.
Oh, good.
It's probably fine.
Probably fine.
Well, you gotta sit gently.
I'm holding 2 cups of coffee.
Oh, well, I guess I gotta grab the coffee. Trying to grab another chair. Hang on. Oh, this one's even better. Who designed these chairs? Oh, that one's like looks relaxing. Yeah, let's do this.
They're a little dirty.
Everything's a little dirty. You know what's great about having something that's a little dirty? Is it never gets dirtier. It gets dirtier, but it never gets cleaner. So if you start off, I got gum. If you start off dirty, you never have that disappointment when it gets dirty. What did you bring?
Oh, I'm dropping my phone. I brought...
We need a cup holder.
I know. Wow, it's not really set up yet.
I don't know.
It's further than I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
You to be still working in the bathroom.
Working on the bath? No, the snow's coming. That's an indoor project.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Is it?
I don't know. Something like that.
I brought a little dessert thing for 3 o'clock coffee.
Ooh, 3 o'clock coffee, and these are strawberry cheesecake strudel.
Can you hold your coffee? Just pass stuff back and forth.
We just need. You want me to grab you one? Which one do you want?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I don't know. Strawberry strudely. My hands are clean.
Sure they are. What's another couple pieces of wood in my food?
That's right. It's fiber. Extra fiber wood. Oh. The guy seems so far away. Hang on. I got. Here.
Hang on. Hold this.
Hang on. Hold that. They're so far away. These guys are far away. Yeah. Now they can see us. Yeah. I couldn't even see myself. That's the problem.
You couldn't see yourself?
I couldn't see myself. It's awkward when I'm sitting here talking and I can't see myself. It's almost done. What are you doing?
I'm going to fold up the box and put it on the ground.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
But we need a table. We should build a table and chairs and everything else.
And all the other things we need.
Yeah, it's never ending.
I think it's one thing at a time. Let's finish the deck boards and then we can think about the chairs. It is a pretty view though.
Isn't it?
Yeah, the leaves are really gorgeous on the ground.
You gotta rake them.
No.
I'm kidding. That's silly. Raking is silly.
Where all the bugs live for next year.
Yeah, so they don't come in the cabin.
Yeah.
They live in the grass, in the leaves and sticks and stuff.
And where would you stop if you were raking? Just the whole bush?
Yeah, just rake the entire
keep
forest.
Going.
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny when people rake. Why don't you just leave them? Leave them. I understand it kills the grass when it sits there, but you know what?
I hate grass anyway.
Yeah, you just get rid of grass altogether. You just have like a thing of leaves. I don't, whatever.
Look at Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's. She's got her spot. She likes to be high up, so she's sitting there on the edge of the deck looking at the. Hey, Frankie, is there a fish over there? Hey? They can't see. They can't see.
They can't see Frankie.
Oh.
Oh.
It's too bad.
Yeah, she looks really majestic, sitting there.
Yeah, she was not majestic when she the other week, she jumped in the hole.
Wow.
She looked like she was like a one of those wide-eyed whales. I've fallen in the hole. Good.
Yeah.
Orange, no. Strawberry strudel. Because I'm looking at the orange color of the leaves. That's why the orange word got in my brain.
Popped in.
It doesn't matter if you're this close to being done. The last 3 boards take the rest of the day. It doesn't. Because really, when you're building a deck, you're basically trading patience for deck. You have as much deck as you have patience. That's why some people only have a small deck. It's because they only have a little bit of patience. The people with the really big decks have a lot of patience.
Is that why it's taking so long?
Well, you know why it's taking so long is because, so a short story here. Our city house, when we had a house in the city, we bought those crazy brackets because I talked about those crazy brackets to screw the deck from below.
Underneath? That was terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And you had a especially difficult time because you're top heavy. So that's why it's taking so long, because I'm screwing them from below. Got anything to say?
Hope you're enjoying your video with Kevin.
Yeah?
Well, what else am I going to say?
I don't know.
I talk to them lots.
You don't have words of wisdom? They reach out to you at the comments all the time and blow smoke up your... Yes.
Well, I appreciate everyone that comments, of course.
You read them.
I do read some of them.
She's got them pinned up on her wall.
I do not. But I do read some of them, and they are very nice comments. And the ones that aren't so nice, we just block them.
There's nobody that doesn't comment nice. I read them in my voice. So it doesn't matter what they write, they always sound happy. For instance, Scott Reed, 6422, writes, I enjoy watching progress, but I have to skip most of it. Too much blabbing about nothing. Well, Scott Reed, you should have skipped this part. Or maybe you already did. I'll never know. It's like a tree when it falls in the forest. Does it make a sound? Scott Reed does. All right, the plan is to cut this off using a chainsaw because it's a radius. I'm sure there's a safer way to do this, but it's not going to be as quick. So, hoping for the best here. Hope this works. I'm gonna use the chain, the side as a guide. Let's put it right up against, I don't know if it's gonna work. Here. That's pretty darn good. You can see the curve? I like it. I just got to do some screwing from below, but that's not that interesting, so I probably won't show that. I'm pleased with the deck. As you can see, it's nice big area. And just got to mill some more stuff up for the handrail. Yeah, nice. Actually, you know what? I have enough deck boards that probably I'm going to do like a step down off of this deck, get it a little bit lower, and then probably do like a side area here, just in order to get kind of service area, so you can just walk off the back, kind of like a door, little door here. What do you guys think of that? I was thinking of making it all the way there, but I was like, nah, I want to actually step it down here, and then, like I said, I can just walk out the back. Otherwise, I'm kind of stuck up here. I got to walk all the way around, but what do you guys think of that? And yeah, so like anyways, I have a glass rail all the way around, probably to here-ish, and then probably put a staircase down here. And because like this is pretty much the location where you want to come off, and at the back you can just walk off the side. So probably like leave the side open again, but like have a railing, kind of newel post right here, and have that kind of stop, and then glass railing, kind of give myself a right angle on that side over there. Glass. Yeah. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and join me on the next one.